car. So we've been working on this for a little while now. It's a 2019 Isuzu Dmax. We've already clocked 100,000 Ks on it, so it is pretty well worn in. But anyway, I want to take you around and show you all the good bits on it. So we'll start stuff that you can't really see. So underneath we have got a Petters GVM upgrade at 2-inch lift. So that gives us an upgrade to 3450. We are heavy, we have maxed out that completely. With the van on the back, we're just over 6 tonnes, so you definitely know that's going around. Done 100,000 Ks on it so far, and absolutely can't fold it, rides off the frame. On some CSA rims, they are a 17-inch rim on the Toyota Open Country RTs, the 50/50 tyres. So far they've done probably about 30,000 Ks as well, and they're pretty sweet. They're what are they, a 265/70/17 GME aerial up front. Got a colour-coded Ironman bar, just some XTM lights. Mounted in the front as well, got the TJM torque winch. Keep walking around here. You've also got the Ironman snorkel, special MSA mirrors. These things are probably one of my favourite parts on the car. So obviously, if you've ever seen these before, push right in like that when you're normally driving. We've only got a small van, so one stage is all we need, but you can actually fold them out another stage as well. Get that for your bigger vans. Just got some weather shields on there from factory. Ironman side steps as well. They are awesome. We've actually smashed a few rocks in the side of those, and so far they haven't bent. A bit of a scratch on them, but they're all good. What else we got walking around? We'll come back to the tray and canopy after, but a bit of a detail on it. The tray is steel. I got it built by Elborn Engineering out in Kapunda, South Australia. And then the box, this is aluminium, so I didn't want steel everything. It just would have been way too heavy. So the box is made by MW Toolbox. Got everything colour coded to match. Elborn's put in this measures about 28 litres. There is a tank in the headboard there as well, just a gravity fed outlet on the back there. Under tray boxes colour coded to match. So then on the back of the car, I know, sorry, it is a bit dirty. We are in the middle of a trip at the moment, so but on the back got the Heyman Reese X bar. This thing is bloody awesome. It actually mounts up on the side of the chassis, like straight out the back, rather than most tow bars that mount underneath, so it's nice and up out the way. DO35 hitch on there for the van, Anderson plug, and the 12 pin plug for the van on the back. These recovery points are wicked. Under tray drawer, so mounted on the back. Just got a little gear bag, we just use that for carting rubbish and stuff around. Full size spare wheel on there, and a full size spare in the CSA rim underneath as well. That I did have the BFGs on there originally, and I wouldn't rate them that highly, but anyway, that's on there as a spare. Couple of lights mounted on the bar, jerry can holder. Got underneath, got a Brown Davis long range tank. I think it's 133 litres from memory. So we don't normally need to carry extra fuel unless you're doing a big run across the desert. So we normally just chuck water in there. Keep coming around here. Above us as well, got the Bushwhacker 270 awning. This is probably another one of my favourites for the car. Fully freestanding, wraps the whole way around. It's got little aluminium trusses. We've had some pretty gusty days, and this thing just absolutely performs. So that's pretty cool. What else we got going around here? So up top, obviously I've made up a little loader so that we can carry the tinny on the top. Not really a custom part of the car, just a couple of backpacks on the top. So up on the top, on the front bar, I've actually mounted just a little ATV, a little 2,500 pound winch to hoist the boat up, because it is about, I think it's about 80 kilos empty on its own. So you know, you could get it up there if you didn't have the winch, but you don't want to hurt your back if you don't need to. So I'll come around the back. So on the back as well, to assist the boat loader, I've just made up these brackets because I had to make, the bars only stopped at the top of the cab, and then so I've just had to put some little slipper extensions on there to have it upright to support the annex, and then I've just modified up some little rollers to help get the boat up there as well. So that's about it for there. If you come around here, just watch out for the dog. So inside the cab is absolutely filthy, but sort of not a hell of a lot to show in here, just the standard canvas seat covers. Oh sorry, take the keys out of there. I'm trying to do this in one take, so I'll see how we go with that. Red Arc Tow Pro, that's pretty awesome as well. You can adjust the brake bias on your trailer brakes if you're going down a steep hill and stuff like that, which we just tried out because we're actually out at Snelling Beach, and you come all the way from the top of that big hill all the way down. So we're pretty hard on the brakes down there. I didn't want it to push the car too much. Just the controller and stuff stashed under there for the winch. Has got a cordless remote for it as well, which is pretty cool. GME radio just mounted in the side there. I have got a throttle controller, just an EVC, little EVC throttle controller in there as well. Just a little bit extra punch. So moving on, so before we go into the canopy, just a bit of a brief on the electrical system. So I've actually got two canopies for this ute. So this is our full size one that we use for big trips, but I've actually got an 800mm half box as well. So the auxiliary battery is mounted behind the back seat. I've just got a kick-ass slimline 120 amp hour battery and DC-DC charger mounted behind the back seat. There is just enough room on a Dmax to get them in there. And then around, doing a bit of lapping, but come around here, on the front of the tray on this side then, I've just got an Anderson plug to undo that. So the power all feeds out the back of the cab, and then we just unplug one canopy, swap it back over to the other, plug it into there. Out the back of the cab as well, before we go into the canopy, just got some extra 12 volt outlets. They mounted pretty cool on the back of the cab there, fitting nice and snug. Underneath, I'll just put a little shot in here as well. I've got some Ironman underbody protection, just some big thick steel plates in there for any high flying rocks or sticks or anything under there. Right, so onto the business side of it, so into the back of the canopy. So this is basically just the storage side. Is a little bit messy at the moment. Like I said, we're on a trip at the moment, and again, it's not 100% finished. I've actually got an Almac outboard slide to go in here, which before we left I just completely ran out of time to fit it. So I've got the outboard just thrown in this little spot in the back here for now, tied to the drawers, and just a bit of other stuff thrown in there. Just one big drawer on here. I've got some little tie down rails made up as well for the top of these, a mob called Sonics, I think they were called. So this is basically just the big gear and tool drawer. This one big drawer where you just throw whatever the hell you want in there. And then up the top, just for storage, we've got just things like your blow up paddleboard, deck chairs, things like that up here. Right up the front as well, got a 40 litre water tank mounted up into the canopy, like right up at the headboard there as well. The electrical sort of stuff up there, don't need to go into too much detail. It basically just powers the fridge, a couple of power outlets for accessories, some lights, and the winch on the roof. That's about it. Under the doors, these are pretty cool. I've got these interchangeable lights, so they're just an on-off on the door. They are a dimmer as well, and you can change the mode to the yellow lights for so that when you got a camp and you got heaps of bugs around, it sort of just deters the bugs from hanging around the light. So that's that side. Under here, in this under tray box, so this is actually for the air compressor. So mounted in the back here, so it's a TJM Pro. This is a TJM Pro locker compressor. I probably got that wrong, but anyway, that's what I think it's called. And this actually a little bit controversial because we've got a TJM compressor that runs ARB air lockers front and rear. So long story short, I went to TJM and wanted all of their gear, but once I'd already bought and mounted the compressor, they then told me that they don't actually make Pro lockers for this model Dmax. So I had to go to ARB and get them fitted. So this compressor runs a little air line here so we can pump our tyres up, and it also runs the front and rear lockers as well, which are also switched from in the cab. So that's this box here. So then in the back of the tray as well, so we've got, this is a part of the L-born trays, the under tray slide out drawer. So this is where we store basically whatever you want as well, shovel, oars for the boat, some tools, recovery gear, anything you want. It's actually caught up a little bit on a bag there, but it comes out probably another foot. So that's all of that. There's that out with a walk around and come around here. This under tray box here, just another storage box. So just a cargo net for when I got the tray, just empty on there, all the tie downs and stuff. So this is my favourite side. Pop this one up here, and this is all the kitchen side. So we've got the 85 litre Bushman upright fridge, and then like all the surround here is basically, this is 15mm plywood, and I've painted everywhere that you can't see, I painted it black. Everything else is just wrapped in carpet, just stuck on with some quick grip. So this is our pantry. Not much in there at the moment because we've got the van, so most of our stuff's in the van with us on this trip, but if we go on just a solo trip with the car, at least we've got plenty of storage in here still. So that's our pantry. Again, another little storage part on the top here with some tie down rails, and this is just another storage drawer. just to put, you know, whatever in there. And then off the bottom of that, I've got a stainless steel table bent up just on some more slides to come out off of there. So a little bit unfinished. So this is the outlet for the water tank. This is another gravity fed one. I ran out of time, so I just went down to Reese and just got a bit of washing machine hose and a gate valve just for our little water outlet for that at the moment. These fridges are pretty cool actually, because it's got a little freezer in the top part as well. Most people go, isn't everything just going to fall out? But the drawers slide around a little bit on the corrugations, but everything actually stays pretty bloody well in there. Little freezer in the top for chucking your bait and little ice creams or whatever if you want in there. But yeah, keeps the beer cold. Little light up the top here as well, just the interchangeable, and then just a bar just for storing some stubby holders to, you know, keep your beer cold while you're going. Righto, hope you enjoyed it guys. So that's our 2019 D-Max. If anyone's got any questions on it, leave us a comment below, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel so that you can see this thing cruising around with the whole setup, with the van on the back, little doggo in there, the wife, all the gear in there. See you in the next one, legends.